Hi, guys.
Hi.
Sound more excited, please.
I was.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
There you go. Anyway, we're back for a long overdue update to life and what has happened since graduating from undergrad. So I'm Dana, if you don't remember,
And I'm Lynn.
So we're just gonna go through and talk to you about our experiences in grad school, and we'll talk about like the best parts, the worst parts, and our key takeaways. So let's get started. So we'll start off with our three kind of worst parts of grad school. So one of the main things for me, at least, was being away from home. I didn't expect to miss my family as much as I did. Not just family, but like family and friends as much as I did. But I did a lot, considering we're both from Columbus, and we both went out of state for grad school. So it's a new city. So we didn't really know anybody in our city. So it was just on our own. So that was really difficult for me. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it was challenging. Like, I had some family members that were already there, but like still, both of them live closer to DC than Baltimore, so it was still a way away, and I didn't get to see them as often as I would have wanted. So it was still, away from home.
And I would say the same thing for me too. I went to school in Florida, and I'm Haitian, so of course, well, we're both Haitian. Of course, there's gonna be a lot of Haitians there, but I was in Tampa. But most of my family is in Miami and like West Palm area. So
that was one of my 3 points that I wanted to say too about like the worst things was just the feeling isolated, and then also like the FOMO. So like feeling like, especially in this day and age, it's a little bit different because we have like, Snapchat, Instagram, so we can see what everyone else is doing. And so that was a little bit more difficult too, because I would be sitting at home sometimes before I like started making my friends and things like that, and I would be watching all my other friends from home going out, hanging out with each other, and it would just be a little bit more hard because I'm just like looking at how it makes you feel even more isolated because you're just like, okay, so I'm here, I don't know anyone yet, and all the people I do know are still hanging out with each other, so it's like I'm the missing link or missing piece. And so it kind of feels like, I don't know, it just feels a little bit weird because it's just like you're still adjusting to so much and everything else back home has stayed the same. So that was a tough part.
I completely agree. Like for myself, it wasn't like I was upset with my friends, but it just felt like, dang, you guys are really moving on with life without me, and you seem to be having fun. Meanwhile, I'm here by myself in my room, like, because I don't have any friends yet.
Right.
So the first semester was a little hard. Again, like, not really making friends, but just getting acquainted with being like on your own in a new city and just not being with your comforts, like friends and family,
right,
down there. So it was really difficult, but I mean, we're here. We made it out, so it's possible.
Yep. So my two other little I guess more negative aspects relate to the classroom experience. So I have like imposter syndrome, which I feel like, especially considering like a lot of my classmates and stuff like that, they did not come straight out of undergrad. And so it was kind of like, you had to deal with the ageism as well, where it's just like everyone is kind of like, it seems like they're in a little bit more of a solid place. That may or not be true. That may or may not be true, but it just seemed that way because, like they're doctors already or they're nurses and they're going back for another degree. And it seemed like they were a little, like they just seemed to be more far ahead and like they knew what they were doing. Whereas like me, I was kind of just like, okay, I'm not sure if I even like really make sense here because I'm just like, look at all these people and then look at me. Like I just like, I didn't have my first internship until the summer after grad school. So I was just like, they have had all these experiences already, and I kind of just like, why they accept me? Like, why am I in this class right now? These people are over here. They work for World Health Organization. They work for USAID and stuff like that. So it's just like, it just felt a little bit weird. But then you get to know them and you realize not only are they not as like, I don't know, they're just easier to talk to than you think that they are. So I think that helped, was just the fact that like, talking to them and getting to know them, and also helped me kind of know what I wanted and what I didn't want to do because I learned from their experiences. So I guess that was an advantage, hidden advantage, Yeah. Okay, so then the other point that I was going to do was about the things that I learned in class. So in undergrad, I also studied public health in undergrad, but it was more so like a sociology specialization, and this one was like international health systems. So I feel like even in and of itself, like the nature of what I was going to be learning was bound to be a little bit more like sad because it's just like you see like international health in countries like Peru and like Haiti and Tanzania and stuff like that, and so the pictures or like the stories that you hear, it makes you feel, or at least I'm not gonna say you, it made me feel personally like, okay, why did I go into this? Because it's just like the professors would talk about this like study that they would do, this trial that they would run, and these like in community health programs that they would try and put in place, and like I already forget what it's called. What's that? The number, like, when you want to see if something's significant or not? The p-value.
Yeah.
So you would they would have a p-value that wasn't even significant, and they put all these resources, all these efforts into the community health program that they would put in, and it wouldn't make a difference. Or it would, but it wouldn't be like that, what they were expecting. And so it's kind of just like, why do it if it's not going to be effective? Because the whole point, the whole reason I wanted to go into public health was because I wanted to go international, specifically to Haiti, and like, you know, implement these health systems and these health programs that could like elevate the whole country, like, or at least like large populations. But if you're in one village.
But yeah. So after we've done talking about like all the horrible, well, the top 3 horrible parts, let's just move on to our best parts of being in grad school. Oh, by the way, sorry, if you keep seeing us looking down, we're looking down at notes.
Yeah. So I think that we can just start with the one that both of us, we actually both liked, the being away from home / being independent aspect. So, I mean, it was on Dana's, and it was on mine too, I guess, the homesickness, that was like the being away from home part that we didn't like. But the being away from home part that we did like, at least for me, because I commuted during undergrad, so to an extent I was like, I didn't really get that experience of being away from home when I went to college, because I would always just go back home at the end of the day. And I moved, like, Maryland is like 6 hours away by car, but it was like less than an hour away by plane. So I did visit home very often, especially my first year. But it's just like, it was fun, you know. It was nice to be in a new city. I had new things to explore because, like, I was raised in Columbus, so it's like I felt like I knew all about the city, even though that's not true. But I felt like I did. So being away in that way was kind of nice because I got to see new places. I got to see new things, like Maryland's by the water. So there was the I forget everything. This is so crazy. It's only been a couple months. What is that thing called? The Inner Harbor. I went. The Inner Harbor.
When?
Is that? Yeah. Yeah,
when we did the paddleboard.
Yes, yeah. So Dana came to visit me, of course, and so we went to the Inner Harbor, and that was like one of my favorite places in Baltimore. So it was just fun to like experience a new city, experience like new people, because the demographic of Baltimore is also very different from Columbus. So that was cool as well, even though it can still be good. And so it was fun, and I like being away from home. I like being independent. I like being able to like say that I was gonna go meet someone at some time and not have to like ask my mom first. So that was always nice. So that was the independence that I was seeking. But, you know, with the good comes the bad. And so the independence of like having to pay my own bills for the first time and stuff like that was, I mean, but let me not get into the negative.
Let's not do.
Yeah, let's.
But like, I completely agreed. I didn't commute in undergrad. I went to University of Cincinnati. It's 2 hours away from Columbus, so it was enough for me to be away from family. Like, as much. Okay, so we're both Haitian. So anybody who grew up in a foreign household just understands where we're coming from here. Don't get me wrong. I love my family. They're awesome. To an extent sometimes. They are awesome, but like, I find that we work better when we're like further away, if that makes sense. Like, now, to me, I felt like being in Florida was too far away compared to like when I was in Cincinnati, which is 2 hours away. So if I was homesick, I could go home really easily. It wasn't the case when I was down in Florida. So that's why I was like really homesick. I don't really see them as much, but I like my independence. I don't like being told what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. Like, just know it'll get done, but on my time, my terms, and it'll get done. Like, trust me, I'll get it done. But I love having that independence of, again, like leaving home, not being asked when I'm leaving, when I'm coming back, who's gonna be there, like exact names of everybody who's gonna be there. So I really enjoyed that. But again, the paying bills part, no, like, who likes that? But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. But one of my next best points would be like learning a new city. So again, we both went to we went out of state for grad school. I went to Tampa, and Tampa was different. Like, not that I didn't like it, I did to an extent, but I never called it like home. Because to me, like, Florida, I would go and visit Florida, but to live in Florida for an extended period of time, not so much. But I loved learning about like new areas in the city and stuff. But me being an extreme introvert, like the first semester I was inside of my room consistently. But making new friends, so I guess it goes hand in hand with learning the city, at least for me. But being an introvert, I spent a whole lot of time at home by myself, experiencing FOMO because I'm on like social media looking at what my friends are doing instead of like going out and like experiencing where I am right now. But thanks to my friends who I made down there, who are awesome, like they're great people, like really awesome, who would literally force me outside, make me go like other places, and it was fun. Like, we went to the beach, and I realized I like the beach. I can't swim, but it's okay. I like being there.
Sometimes that's all you need.
Exactly, going to the beach and visiting other areas of Tampa, and then going to visit family too while I was in Florida. So it was like a fun experience overall. So those were my best points. What was your last?
My last positive was for like my practicum experience. I got to go to Haiti, and that was just fun because I haven't been in like 20 years. That was the first time I've been back since I was a 3-year-old. So it was just really nice to go back to Haiti and experience the culture and the people and things like that. It was just fun, and I'm happy that my school provided the opportunity for me to do that.
Awesome. I want to go back. We should go back together. And then, so finally, we're just going to talk about like our key takeaways from being in grad school. I guess for me, aside from academics, like, of course, you're going to learn things academically. You're in school. That's what you're there to do. But I learned so much about myself. Like, individually, I grew the most within these last 2 years as an individual than I have ever in my life, I would say. But like, even if the process takes time and there's a lot of trials in the whole process, just being able to complete it and see yourself finish at the end of it and see that you survived it, not just grad school, but like life and grad school, that you survived it is just like, wow, well then I'm able to do this. Like, I'm able to do that. So it was just a very encouraging journey. For me, it was hard. I'm not gonna lie. It was definitely hard. But yeah, it was also very encouraging. So yeah. What about you?
I agree with that. But my biggest takeaway would definitely be attitude and mindset. I think that makes the biggest difference, and I was even able to see that in my own life versus like my mindset going into my first year versus my mindset going into my second year. Completely different, and it actually changed my experience as well, because my going into my first year, of course, you know, you're nervous. You're like, what am I going to gain from this? What to expect? You didn't know, but it's just like I kind of went in with more of like a Debbie Downer type thing, and that's when you think negatively, that's what you see, you know? So you attract, I guess, what you, what is the saying? It's like you attract what you reflect or something like that.
I think so.
Or you reflect me. It's something about, so basically what you see in your mind, you see in your reality. I don't know exactly what the phrase is, like, to make it cute, but that's what it was. And so it's just like, when I was seeing, like, I was just like, oh my gosh, like, this city is so hard, this city is this class is this, these professors are this, and it's just like, I'm making it that way, and by thinking about it, I only reinforced that. And so after I was going into my second year, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna change the way that I think about Baltimore. I'm gonna change the way that I think about these classes, the structure of it. It's not ideal, it's not perfect for me, but I'm gonna make the most of it, and my experience was completely different. So it's just like, when you're going into anything in life, not just grad school, the more positively you think about something, the better it's gonna be. The outcome is gonna be more, like, you're gonna enjoy yourself more, it's gonna be more beneficial, you're gonna meet more people that are like-minded and stuff like that. So like attracts like, that's what it was. That's what the saying was.
I was like, I wasn't gonna help you because I didn't know.
That's what the saying is, like attracts like.
I would say like changing your mindset and stuff. And again, like even something, if you see something as difficult, like, yeah, it's hard, but maybe if you look at it this way, oh, maybe if I ask for help, or maybe if I do this, it really can change your outlook on it. But that's pretty much all we had for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, although it was overdue. We're here, and I'm gonna try to be more consistent. I say this every time, but anyway, I'm gonna try to be more consistent. But thank you so much for watching. If you have any suggestions or any questions or anything that we talked about today, just put it in the comments and we'll answer them.